Hey, new friends, I'm glad you're watching. Hey, new friends, it's possible to see this on your phones. I know, to avoid copyrights, the song's lyrics, I am botching. But now you're here, I promise you will feel right at home. You probably watch this on your phone anyway. Hi. Yes. I just finished watching Centaurworld. First, I thought I should bring that back for this occasion. Yes. Centaurworld is amazing. I will get into that. But first, I gotta get my chair because I have a lot to, gotta make sure I set everything up correctly now. Okay, let's see here. Avoid accidentally hitting my tree here, because, you know, it is Christmas time. And, have this guy with me. So, yes, I just finished watching Centaurworld. Before I talk about that, I have a little high night of kindness to do. First of all, my low, I forgot to make my NFL pick yesterday, but don't worry, I'll try and do the rest of them later. But I can tell you that I would have been wrong. I picked the Patriots to win, and the Colts wound up winning. So, there you go. My high, I had a wonderful evening with my parents. You know, we got stuff done, went shopping for a little bit, and my act of kindness was I held the door for people walking to church, and I had beaten my folks to Sam's Club because we went shopping there, and I had gotten the cart and everything ready for them to go. So it was wonderful. So now, good morning, happy Sunday, everybody, and holy cow, do I have to talk about Centaurworld? Well, if you don't know what Centaurworld is, I'll bring it up to speed. Basically, Centaurworld is literally two worlds. There's the human world, where there's a massive war going on, there's violence, bloodshed everywhere, just absolutely horrible. And Centaurworld, which is a world that has a colorful collection of singing and dancing animal and man things. It's amazing. Anyway, so in season 1, Horse, the main character, gets separated from a rider, whose name is Ryder, and she falls into Centaurworld, where she meets, again, a colorful collection of singing, dancing, and animal and man things. And she meets a herd that consists of a giraffe tar named Durpleton, a bird tar named Chet, a zebra tar named Zwelis. There's Glendale. I forget what species of animal Glendale is supposed to be. I'm so sorry. Especially when, like, the creator of the show voices Glendale, who is amazing, by the way, for making this awesome show. Thank you very much, Nicole Dong. I think that's how her name is pronounced. I'll bring my computer in a minute. I'll bring it up in a second. Wamawaith, the leader of the herd, who is an alpaca tar. I'm just calling her that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I just got the whole I got the whole herd. And so the first season basically is, you know, Horse, there's a key, and Horse has to get parts of the key and reopen the door to the human world so she can reunite with the rider. And season 1 ended with the release of an evil being known as the Nowhere King. And, you know, now season 2 is basically, you know, Horus has to try and find an army of centaurs to help the humans fight the Nowhere King's army. Makes sense, right? And right off the bat, season 2 starts off with quite possibly the greatest season recap ever. It's done entirely in a very entertaining and hilarious song, and I love it. And obviously the premise of season 2 is Horus is trying to recruit an army for, you know, the war coming up. One problem though, Horus really isn't very good at it. Literally the first several episodes essentially end with, like, Horus not really succeeding what she's trying to do. And they were able to recruit, you know, centaurs in their army, but it wasn't really Horus's doing. Like, literally everyone else in the herd contributed to bringing more people into the army. And obviously Horse feels, left out. But eventually, it comes to the fact that Horse has backstory magic where she literally runs into someone and she can go inside their brain and see their memories. I'm not gonna lie, it's really cool. The show makes absolutely no sense if you couldn't tell. Anyway, meanwhile in the human world, we follow Ryder, and we're the shamans from Centaurworld. Water Baby, love Water Baby, she is awesome. And it turns out that the Nowhere King is using the key that was used to open the door to human world and Centaurworld. And this key actually has the power, if engineered properly, to essentially combine things. See, the reason why the Nowhere King has an army of minotaurs and other creatures is because he's fusing a bunch of them together to make an army. Okay, that's actually really cool. And there are actually some very significance for this key, not just because of the fact it is a key, but I'll get to that momentarily. Actually, I could barely get into it now. Basically, that key has the power to split apart creatures and bring them back together. Let's say a griffin, for example. Griffin is half lion, half eagle, or falcon. Is a griffin half eagle or half falcon? I forget. But basically, you can split with the key. You could bring those two parts together, or split them apart so you get the lion and the eagle or falcon or whatever it is, something like that. Which is actually a really cool premise. And it's here we actually find out the Nowhere King's backstory. It turns out the Nowhere King used to be an elk-tar. Basically a half centaur, half elk, apparently. Anyway, stay with me, it's crazy. Basically, he liked this one woman who was a human. And he felt that because he was different, that they could not be together. So he thought, if I find a way to become human myself, we'll be good, right? So he uses the key, and he becomes a human and an elk. One problem, though. The elk just doesn't become an elk. The elk legit has, sentient, real feelings, and can think and even speak like a human. So, meanwhile, the human half becomes, the general of the human kingdom, and general of, the army in the human world right now. I think you know where this is going. Both the Nowhere King and the general cannot kill each other. Because if one of them dies, so does the other. It's actually quite tragic, especially when the Nowhere King used to be a legit real elk, but the more that he used the key to try and create an army to fight against the humans, the more the key corrupted him and turned him into this giant black blob with an elk skull for a head. This is actually really sad. It is. It's even sad when you consider the fact that the old woman that shows up at different parts in the series is the woman that, the Nowhere King truly loved. And it does create a conflict, Sometimes, it turns out the general was a real creep. And what wound up happening is, spoiler alert, the Nowhere King does die, but it really is by the hand of the woman. And the woman's fate is actually left unknown, which, honestly I like that way. Maybe it's a metaphor where, well, I'm sure there's a metaphor there somewhere. I can't think of it, I'm sorry. But, yes, the entire conflict of this entire series, which was the war, was literally caused by a guy who loved a girl. Well, I can definitely say this. I've seen guys do crazy things for a girl, but legit trigger a full-on, full-scale war? That's gotta be like as over the top as you could hope for something like this to be. Anyway, speaking of over the top, because this series is over the top, I need to talk about all the wonderful good things about the show. The music, the animation, the comedy, the story, the action, because there's some great action in this. It is on point. Steps above season 1. And season 1 was already very good. And I have to talk about, the cast and everything. Actually, you know what? This would probably be a very good time to bring out the old laptop because, I am going to be doing NFL picks in a minute anyway. Well, I say in a minute, I don't know how long what I'm about to talk about is going to take. But regardless, where do I even begin with the cast? Well, if I have to give out, actually, one thing they did really sweet in season 2, which is great. They legit make fun of diehard fans who do nothing but who do nothing but tweet and say, "Oh, this show is bad," blah blah blah, or "Hey, it's your boy." In a way, they basically parody what I'm doing right now. Now, it doesn't really offend me because I don't take it to that extreme. In fact, outside of the occasional mentioning of this show here and there, I'm probably never going to do another video like this ever again. But I see that but I do know, and we all know, that there's a lot of people where, if they're fans of a show, they legit go crazy to the point where you could say it's completely irrational. But that's not me. And actually, I found that comparison hilarious. Even if that was me, I would find it hilarious. See, in all fairness, I am definitely the kind of person where, yeah, I do suffer from depression, but I'm okay with making fun of myself as long as it doesn't go too far. And even for what Centaurworld did, I don't think they went that far at all. So this was good. Very good, in fact. Now I have to get into the cast. Let's see. Where do I even begin? Well, in terms of side characters, no question, I'm giving the MVP to Comfortable Doug, voiced by Thalula Borg. He was hilarious. He was great. I don't know what else to say other than, yes, Comfortable Doug made us all feel very comfortable. Thank you, Comfortable Doug. We love you. Anyway, let's see, other members of the supporting cast. I would say that the male MVP and the female MVP of the supporting cast, and I mean the people voicing side characters, I gotta give it to both Dre Griffin and D. Bradley Baker, woman and man, respectively. I mean, both are highly, highly, highly accomplished voiceover actors. Greg Griffin with being people like Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents, Daphne from the Scooby-Doo series. I had another really good. Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So yeah, Greg Griffin. She is amazing. Definitely deserves any and all credit she gets for what she does. And D. Bradley Baker, literally the second coming of Frank Walker, if I'm being honest. Because, yeah, he voices a lot of great characters too. And he has voiced a lot of great characters in the past. What he's known for is animal sounds. And he does a lot of animal sounds in the series too. Where, I just mentioned Avatar: The Last Airbender. He was both Appa and Momo. So there you go. So, needless to say, this was fantastic. They were both great. And I have to get into the main cast, essentially Horse and Wamwake and the rest of the herd. Because when you hear their backstories, you just feel so sad. Seriously, I gotta mention Glendale. Glendale was sad because, she felt like because she's a klepto. But she feels like if she doesn't, she'll feel alone. And Wamway, being as awesome as she is, one running gag in the series is that Wamway didn't get the credit that she felt she deserved. Which, felt kind of bad, but whatever. But Chet's backstory was sad because he literally just wanted to be a tulip dancer among the horse cars. And yeah, he was small, but he had heart, gosh darn it. And then there's Durpleton. Dude, his parents straight up abandoned him and left him alone. So you better believe when he finally has a son in Stabby, yes, his son's name is Stabby. I'm just saying right now, Durpleton, one of the best animated fathers ever. In a realm where animated parents are usually bad. Seriously, there's more good child actors than there are good, animated cartoon parents. Look it up, I'm being serious. It's it's unbelievable. Wamawink, we already learned her backstory. She's a war orphan. But you know what? She still finds the beauty and everything. That we are all just fragile things, gosh darn it. And I gotta give the main character, Horse, my favorite character, voiced by the lovely and talented Kimiko Glenn, all the credit in the world. And you know what? I actually have to give Kimiko Glenn a lot of credit for this. Just how good her character was. Because Kimiko Glenn is an accomplished actress in her own right. She's also an accomplished voiceover actress in her own right. As being shows like the DuckTales reboot that came out in 2017. And she was also Penny Parker in Into the Spider-Verse. She's got potential. She's got credentials for days. But what truly makes Horse her best voiceover role, to me anyway, is the fact that she's never voiced the main character of a show. She legit had to carry this show on her back. Which is kind of fitting because she plays a horse and horses do carry things. And needless to say, she did it. She absolutely killed it. So, Kimiko Glenn, you are awesome. Thank you. And I'm just saying, I am single. FYI. Anyway, figure I better try, right? Now then, I have to talk about this one scene where I just completely went over the rails in both laughter and relief. Because it really did feel like Ryder was gonna die in the finale. And she does go, oh my god, thank you! Oh, thank you! Oh, it's a Christmas miracle! Seriously, I'm watching this on my couch behind me, and I'm just going completely nuts with laughter and screaming she's alive! So the series ends with Horse, now that they want Horse to become a shaman, and she, Ryder, Wamwink, and the rest of the herd ride on their houseboat off into the sunset, singing and dancing with all the rest of half animal, half man things. And it's amazing. Oh gosh, just watch the show. I love the show so much. I'm so glad I gave the show a chance. I am so glad I gave the show a chance. I want to point one other thing out too. This show was only 2 seasons, and the second season was only 8 episodes, whereas the first season was 10. The finale was 1 hour and 14 minutes. Basically, the final episode was the length of 3 episodes. So yeah, you technically got an even 20 episodes. Sweet. All right, way to go. Now I have to point out something that I have been thinking about. Does Centaurworld deserve the S tier? Basically, my tiering system is really a collection of shows and movies in which, I judge them, based on S, A, B, C, D, all the rest, right? In order for something to get S tier, because keep in mind, actually, if I'm going to do this, I need to bring this down real quick. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I can always pick that up later. In order for something to be S tier, three things need to occur. It has to follow the Blockbuster Busters criteria for what makes something great, which is it has to be entertaining, tell a good story, and show us something we've never seen before. Does that in spades, no question there. And for that, it already gets A tier. Very nice. It has to have it basically has to have a scenario where the finale has to be the best part of the series with a dynamite main cast and supporting cast to back it up that we've known over a long period of time. The long period of time thing is a little bit shaky because with stuff like Avengers Endgame and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, we got to know this cast and characters pretty much for the span of a decade. Well, really, the end of Engame was 8 years, but still, actually, over 10 years. So, a very, very long time, essentially, right? With Centaurworld, it literally premiered in July of this year, and it ended in December. The entirety of the series. Well, technically did sort of open it for maybe new stories to occur, but I'm pretty sure I even looked it up. This is the final season, so I'm calling it here. So, yeah. It's probably the fastest series circulation I think I've ever seen. Another thing I've never seen before. But the dynamite cast and the finale being the best part, absolutely. So it accomplishes that second thing. Now that third thing, and this is where it gets hard. At the end of the day, I have to think back after what I bore witness to. And I have to say to myself, we're just never going to see anything like this ever again. Now, in some respects, this is 100% true. Because aspects of behind the scenes things, like the fact that the finale was essentially the length of 3 Netflix series, of 3 episodes, or the fact that this world is a colorful collection of singing and dancing and animal life man things, or the fact that the main character is a straight up horse. Well, actually, that's not true. That the horse being main character has happened before, so we have seen that before. But a horse, I guess, that could talk in a magical world. I guess that's never happened before. So there are plenty of things about this show that I could definitely say we are never going to see ever again. But honestly, why this show does in fact get S tier, I'll give you a second to celebrate, okay, is the fact that all in all, there was nothing about this show that I felt was so bad it was unforgivable. Nothing. Take a show like Samurai Jack, for instance. You wait 11 years in between when you get the final season, and then without any, and we did it, but 11 years of waiting without any sort of explanation of anything like that, especially when you went out at the top of your game and then you just disappear, yeah, that's unforgivable. Or another thing that's not on S tier yet. That's not on S tier. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm honestly really upset by how season 2 ended. And we had to wait a year for season 3 to happen. So, there was nothing about Centaurworld I felt was unforgivable. So, are we ever going to see a show like this ever again? Or are we never going to see a show like this ever again? Gotta make sure I don't use a double negative here. The answer is yes. This show is S tier, baby. So, thank you. I hope, I'm just going to quickly look up her name real quick. I'm so sorry. Okay, seriously, where is... Thank you, Megan Nicole Dong, for creating this wonderful show. Thank you to the cast and crew for giving us arguably one of the best shows to come out in 2021. And I said this before, I'll say this again. This show would be great for watching during Pride Month in June. I really think it would. It definitely has the colors for it and the music for it. Not that, by the way, I don't want to sound like that or anything. This is a wonderful show that I highly recommend everyone watch. But honestly, to watch this during Pride Month would be very fitting. It really would. I mean that, I swear I don't mean to sound bad saying that. It really would be good that way. So, yeah. Centaurworld. Congratulations. I'm giving you S tier. And rightfully so. You've earned it. I never thought ever... all I can say, because, you know what? Because it's possible Amphibia is going to reach S tier if the finale's as good as Reunion and True Colors were. And One Piece is going to reach S tier eventually. But I am in the process of maybe retooling some of my criteria so that there really could be others there. And with that said, come on, Craig McCracken. Give us a third really good season of Kid Cosmic. Thank you. Okay, now I can do my NFL picks, and then I'll sign off for the day. Alright. I literally just had this. Okay. NFL games today. Let's see. The Titans and the Steelers, I'm picking the Titans. Panthers and Bills, Bills. Jaguars and Texans, Texans. Cowboys and Giants, oh, come on, I'm picking my Cowboys. Cardinals and Lions, Cardinals. Jets and Dolphins, Dolphins. Bengals and Broncos, Bengals. Falcons and 49ers, 49ers. Packers and Ravens, I want the Ravens to win. Saints and Buccaneers, yeah, I'm rooting against Tom Brady. Buccaneers easy. Raiders and Browns, I don't know, man. I think I could give this, I'm going to look up playoff picture real quick. If I can just get to it. Okay, that's who's the top tier right now. Okay. Right, okay. So, if the Browns lose, they're out. If the Raiders win, they could be out too. You know what? Honestly, because of the John Gruden thing, I'll pick the Browns. I think it's a good choice to make. Let's see, Vikings and Bears. Vikings have been on a roll lately. Oh, never mind. Actually, I was supposed to start with Buccaneers. Well, at least now you know my picks for today. So, anyway, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and follow me on social media on YouTube. I am very home in this video for all you guys watching. Enjoy for today. Hope we have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Mary's going to talk to you later today. Take care, make good choices. Go watch Centaurworld. Do it. You will be doing yourself a favor if you did. And it definitely got S tier in my book. See ya.